Hello everyone, welcome again. Today on Peasantry Talk, I'm gonna do an achievement which is in no wheels for the first level, which is also being played on hard difficult for the campaign of the Grand Dukes of the West, which is the first one, A Kingdom Divided. At the same episode of today of Peasantry Talk, we're gonna learn about Burgundians. The basics, everything that a new player should remember and should know about Burgundians. Now pay attention, it is a new civilization, there's many things that probably gonna be changed or fixed or nerfed, or even later on they can be upgraded, they can boost some areas of the civilization, but I believe that overall they're gonna nerf a few things. Most important is to understand the essence of the civilization, which is something that they most likely will not change it. It is a cavalry civilization. At the same time, it's a powerhouse regarding the economy. So the economic upgrades, they available one age earlier. So check this. You have all of these right at the Dark Age. That's huge. That's a big significance for this civilization. And when you are Feudal Age, you can get all of this. Bolsol, Heavy Blow. It's amazing. And then on Castle Age, getting 2-man soul, guilds, crop rotation. That's a pretty amazing. Not entirely sure if they're gonna change more technologies because as you can see, banking still is on the Imperial Age because then they would be the masters of the slinging. They would be a must-have during slinged strategies during team games. So I believe that they could change one thing or another, but overall they will still be a very powerful economic upgrades, which these economic upgrades arriving earlier. The stable technologies they cost plus 50% cheaper, so less 50%. So they are cheaper. They are cut in half the technologies of the stable. Check this. You have the light cavalry upgrade, and it costs for the Burgundians 75 food and 25 gold. That's very cheap. That's cheaper than a blacksmith upgrade. It's ridiculous. At the same time, we should also mention the next one about this stable, which is the fact that they can make cavaliers in Castle Age, which is crazy. It's very good. And the upgrade will cost only 150 gold and 150 food. That's amazing. Husbandry, 75 food. Now we're gonna talk more about their stable and but yeah, it's a cavalry civilization, and not only ends here the cavalry of them. See the upgrade of Paladin, 650 food, 375 gold. The same about Hussar, 250 food and 300 gold. That's a huge thing, that's very good for Burgundians. You can be pretty sure that they are very nice regarding cavalry. Although there are a few things to be mentioned about it. The gunpowder units, they got a plus 25% attack. So when you are one gunpowder unit against the other, they always gonna be better if you got the same amount of resources due to this attack. So bombard cannon against bombard cannon, that's gonna be huge, that's gonna be big. Pretty amazing. Pay attention to it when you're trying to trade one bombard cannon against another because you're probably not going to trade because they are a little bit. They got a better attack, which can result into you losing your bombard cannon and not trading during a battle against these gunpowders when you're using gunpowder against gunpowder. At the same time, pretty amazing. It means that the head cannoneer is better. It got a better attack. So yeah, I can only call it a very good thing. A very interesting civilization. At the same time, I don't know if all of these things are going to stay that way, but I believe that they're going to resonate just as it is right now. So maybe they're going to change the gunpowder units, maybe they're going to change some economic upgrades. But the essence of this civilization is that it's a powerhouse regarding economic, and they're literally going to use all of this power that they're going to get on the economy in order to make, as the game gets more late, to get a very powerful, very solid, and probably faster, well-developed army. Along with they will surely remain that they will try to consolidate their power also with the gunpowder units. So very interesting, and two unique units. It's a big thing. The Concilia, which is a shock cavalry, which they have a specially charge attack. They need to charge an attack, and then they're gonna release a very very powerful strike. Then they're gonna need to, just like it happens on Age of Empires 3, Age of Mythology, they're gonna need to charge this attack, and then you're gonna have a much inferior attack with this. So very interesting units to use, along also with the Flemish Militia, which you can only get after making the Flemish Revolution, which is a unique tech, and it's gonna upgrade all your villagers into Flemish Militia. So that's crazy, something that never happened on Age of Empires 2. I would never imagine some civilization having it, not even a mod. The Burgundian vineyards, which converts all food into gold, and farmers slowly generate gold in addition to food. That's something very, very. I really want to see how they're gonna play out in the game with the competitive scene. That's something very, very particular. So there's a lot of things that only happens for this civilization, something that does not even resemble the rest of the civilizations of the game. And as a team bonus, the relics will generate both gold and food. That's interesting. So you're gonna have a small food trickle when you are playing with Burgundians and you pick a relic. So again, I really think that they're gonna change a few things, but the essence will be the same. So let's try to talk about Burgundians on what they are in a sense. There could be some changes depending on the date where you watch this video. I'm probably gonna try to update in the future, but let's go. Archer range. So the archer range, it's not really the focus, but it's most, I would say the most important, but it's a very, very important construction to have later on due to hand cannoneers. So you have a better hand cannoneer, one of the best of the game. Pretty good. You're gonna have the means to have a good economy to sustain this unit once you reach the Imperial Age. So very good. At the same time, the archer line, you can do well. You can try your best in Feudal Age and then go for the Castle Age, but it ends here. You probably will also need some elite skirmisher along with the skirmisher, so the skirmisher line is okay. You good enough for trash wars, which is important. The cavalry archer ends here. No heavy cavalry archer, no Persian tactics, and no tampering. That was it. Archer range, very focused on hand cannoneer and some base units, but you can explore it on other ways, as I mentioned it during Feudal Age or Castle Age battles. Barracks, you got the full militia line. Okay, it's good, but no supplies, so do not overly rely on it. But at the same time, you would think that, well, it's great because sometimes you might need it in the Imperial Age, even without this big discount. Which, this discount tends to stack very well later on in the game. So important thing, they miss it, but they still got squires and archers, so that's okay, and also full halberdier. Pretty good barracks. For a stable civilization, for a cavalry civilization, they still are pretty okay regarding the barracks. Interesting, they can use these functions, they can try their best, they have resources, maybe they're gonna change the future, who knows. Here, the biggest sense of the civilization, I don't believe that's gonna change. So you got no bloodlines, of course no camel, no battle funds, no step lancers, but also you got husbandry. Very cheap husbandry, which is great. They got also the ability of making cavaliers on the castle age, so that's crazy. You're gonna do a knight, a rush on the fast castle, you can do a cavalier fast castle with Burgundians, which is something crazy. Really want to see how it's gonna play out, but you should probably expect these units appearing if you tend to have a big battle on the castle age, especially because the upgrade is so cheap. And once they get the Imperial Age, they can try to get the Paladin upgrade right away. So they can probably be the faster civilization regarding Paladin. That's something that not many people are mentioning, but maybe not the best Paladin compared to the Franks, but probably the faster one. And that makes the whole difference. And also the ability of making swords, which they still retain here and which is big, especially for late games. So amazing stable, very good. The faster paladins, even though lacking bloodlines, the fact that you're gonna have with speed, with the speed of the technology of having cavaliers probably in the Castle Age and then researching right away in the Imperial Age the paladin upgrade, that's huge. That's big, people. Siege Workshop, you're gonna focus on it, on the bombard cannon. You're gonna have the stronger bombard cannon. They probably gonna compose your army very well. It is a good choice. And again, you don't have the Siege Ran or the Siege Monitor, which is kind of bad, but that's it. And also no have Scorpions. So not really any other big attraction. It's gonna be good. Sometimes you can use the caped run, even though we don't have a siege run, but they're gonna be a choice. But I truly believe that you most likely will always rely with this excellent bombard cannons that they got. Blacksmith. So no ring archer armor, kind of bad for your skirmishers on the late game, and also kind of bad for your hand cannoneers. They are really good with attack, but they are weaker to receive attacks. So you're gonna need to take advantage of the engagements and try to use smartly these extra attack that the hand cannoneer are gonna have. Pay attention to it. But also you got bracers, good for your castles, good for your towers, and good for your archers, I believe, and also your skirmishers. So it's okay. Also good for water. Great, cannot complain about that. And also full outfit, that's amazing. Full armor for your cavalry, full armor for your infantry, and full attack upgrades. Amazing. With Dock, they surprisingly they got the galleon line complete. No heavy demolition ship. As you could imagine, if you have the ability of cut wood to make a lot of wood early on, it can be good for your sea activities, so your naval battles could have more funds with more wood, but at the same time we should remember that they will lack the dry docking ship right, which is extremely bad. So not really a water civilization, but you can have a really good cannon galleon with the upgrade of the lead cannon galleon, so they will be powerful. You should take advantage of it, try to put yourself in a good position of using the cannon galleon as a support. At the same time, you're gonna have resources and probably wood upgrades earlier in order to make your wood stockpiles better and try to fund your sea activities at the Castle Age and probably try your best at the Imperial Age to survive. But missing these last technologies over here, it's quite bad. Wow, University, they are surprisingly good for defense. So fortified wall, masonry, architecture. Again, not entirely sure if you're gonna say it that way, but also got chemistry and bombard tower. Everyone got chemistry, but not everyone gets bombard tower. So another civilization with bombard tower, another way of doing your push on Imperial Age even more stronger. You also got the ability of having a guard tower and a keep. And along with that, you got a very bad thing here, which is no siege engineers, and that's quite big. Quite bad the punch that they get with this, but I believe that they really need it. They have they have a lot of strong points in this civilization, so yeah, that's something that they should pay attention. They believe that it's the right path, and have no siege engineers. It's bad, but it's bad for Burgundians, but it's good for the game, I believe. Ballistics, treadmill crane, which is also make a difference, but no heated shots. So again, not good, not that good for water maps. But in the rest, they do pretty okay. They can be really good, and they have very good important upgrades, especially the bombard tower for your pushes, which will certainly use also some gunpowder. This support here can be great for late game. And then as you can see, as I just mentioned it, so very good for defense and also the castle. So Haute Conciliere, it is. Expensive upgrade, expensive cost, 55 food and gold, but at the same time extremely good and interesting unit to use during shock, during raid. It can be really good, especially when they are against fewer units. When they are against weaker units, they can really wipe out very easily, but pay attention with their charge attack. Then we have these technologies that I just explained it. You have this, 2 food for 1 gold, that's the ratio, that's very important, that wasn't mentioned in the tech tree bonuses that I just read. So yeah, for each 2 food, you're gonna get 1 gold. It's still very good for late game. And the Flemish Revolution, where you can just stop, shut down your economy, and then put all of it for a full all-in with Flemish Militia. That's a choice that you can take. Hoardings, which means that you can strengthen your castles, so pretty good. Sappers, conscription, pretty good castle. They got very interesting resources, and the fact that they can have 2 unique units, it's extremely good. And surprisingly, their monastery is extremely good. So they got no heresy, which is always a very expensive technology that you're gonna think about researching it or not, and also no theocracy. But if you micro very well, you can sometimes forget about theocracy. But still, it would be better if they had, but he's still very, very good with the monastery. They can have some very powerful monk pushes. I believe that on arena they can do pretty great, and on other circumstances where you need monks or where you can do strong monk push, they can be really good. Redemption, sanctity, fervor, illumination, block printing, excellent monastery, very good. Not entirely sure if they're gonna stay that way forever. And there we go. We have, oh, look at this, the wheelbarrow. We got right away at the arcade. So if you got housed, maybe you can have it. And also something that you might think about researching if you're trying to make some late game strategy, or if you get stuck on dark or feudal age, they're gonna be really good. Handcart right away at feudal age. That's huge. That's amazing. And then we add all of this. Every economic upgrade. And again, not entirely sure if you're gonna keep that way, but that's great. They are really, really good regarding it. That's everything that we need, and also get 1 age earlier. So far it's a very, very strong. Probably the sense of civilization will be the cavalry bonuses. I believe that they might change a few things, probably change a little bit on the infantry, and probably remove a few, at least one technology from the blacksmith. But overall, they are very solid and a very strong civilization with a lot of things that it really makes me wonder how to be the future with civilization. But anyway, let's go and let's play this level. So let's go, a kingdom divided, and also I gonna try to make the achievement no wheels. So let's go, I believe it's all set.
Tomorrow, when Joan of Arc burns at the stake, I want you to watch carefully. Not the young woman in the flames, but the men who sentenced her to burn. The English will carry out the sentence, but when nothing but her ashes remains, it is the Grand Duke of the West, our Duke of Burgundy, that will have seized a triumph. For you see, this spectacle is not really about the Maid of Orleans. Her death is only as important as the benefit that it brings us. What burns on that pyre is not Joan the person, but La Pucelle, the symbol of the French resistance. You are young, my son. You have never seen our duchy as anything but a powerful state. But we were not always so mighty. In the greater tale of history, Burgundy is but a newborn power, carved from the lands of the kingdoms and empires that surround us. Our ascent began with John the Fearless, the father of our current duke. Up until then, the Dukes of Burgundy and the Armagnac faction had been equal rivals, fighting for influence at the court of the Mad King of France. Louis, the leader of the Armagnac faction, had been using the funds of the French crown for years to stifle John in any way possible. He also boasted of having bedded John's wife. Tiring of these insults, and Louis's abuse of royal influence, John decided to end their rivalry for good. Just 3 years into his reign, he sent 15 men to stab the Armagnac Duke to death on the streets of Paris in broad daylight. It was a true show of force. In one bloody act, John established himself as the most powerful duke in France. The Armagnac faction, now leaderless, began preparing for a long war. To keep the Burgundians occupied, they supported a revolt in the city of Liège, which was ruled by John's brother-in-law, the Duke of Bavaria. John the Fearless would not let such unrest spoil his plans for the Grand Duchy. And so he marched his armies north, to a small village outside Liège called Auteuil.
Okay. Real stuff going on. Very strong. intro cutscene, and very sad to see that they were about to see the demise of Joan of Arc. Very brutal, but a lot of knowledge, a lot of historical stuff that they mentioned, which is interesting because I have read about the 100 Years' War. Captures the city of Liege by destroying 2 of these 3 castles. On 150 population, and you cannot advance in Imperial Age, so that's big. It's very fortunate that I can make the Imperial Age upgrades at least. And also the Cavaliers. 6 villages raid that support rebels are located in the vicinity. You can plant their trade workshops, mills, and markets. You can trade with your ally for additional colony income, but ensure enemies do not wreak havoc on your trade routes. You know, the Fearless has recruited siege engineers from the Flemish cities, whose expertise provides the Burgundians which means to construct caped runs. But we're not gonna use it because we're gonna try to make an achievement. So here he is, we got the purple here, the Scion, the city of Liege, located to the southeast. The rebels will defend the city with skirmishers, spearmen, and archers. As long as city supply camps remain intact, Liege will also make use of gunpowder guns as hand cannoneers and organ guns. So you're gonna need to destroy the secret camps. Your ally, the Duke of Bavaria, Yellow, has set up his camp in the north. Eager to take back Liege, the Duke will send heavy cavalry and monks into battle. Important to know about that. 6 nearby villages, Grey, support the rebels in Liege, but are barely defended and can be easily plundered. Okay.
The Armagnacs are inciting the local population to take up arms and rebel. John, let us put an end to this insubordination.
Si vai, I bati. Così poi. Buongiorno,
Okay, let's try. So, let's see, I need actually to see around how it is, the area. So I played it briefly, it can be a pretty tricky scenario. I would certainly be very careful. Yes, there will be some big battles and we will not be able to actually use the CG units that we were supposed to use in this level.
Buongiorno.
Si, bush do bo, I chasse.
Oh, here he is. There is a village here.
Buongiorno.
Oh, another one here. Oh, that was bad.
Si, I chasse.
Oh no, that was bad.
Chasse. Si.
Fra I chasse.
Fra, I vai, I chasse.
Vos ordres, immédiatement. I bouge, I vai.
Okay, so... yeah, here he is. Time to destroy it. Time to destroy it.
Buongiorno, posordre.
Si vai, immédiatement.
The grain that the villagers had stored in this mill will now feed the Burgundian army.
Si. Bonjour, il bouge du bois.
Fra. Immédiatement. Il va. Si, immédiatement. I batti. Si, i batti. Buongiorno. Il ricordo.
Fra. Il bouge du bois, il bâti.
I va. Il bouge.
Vos ordres,
Si, immédiatement. I batti.
si.
Vos ordres. I bouge batti.
Bonjour du bois.
Vos ordres.
Vos
The grain that
ordres,
the villagers had stored in
il
this
bâti
mill
du
will
bois.
now feed the
Buongiorno.
Burgundian
Vos
army.
ordres. I vai. I bouge batti.
Lumber and stone were stored in this trade workshop. We will make good use of these resources.
Fra. Vos ordres, si. Il bouge du bois.
Si. Fra. I batti.
Bonjour, immédiatement. Il bouge du bois. Fra. I bâti.
Lumber and stone were stored in this trade workshop. We will make good use of these resources.
Si. Il compris immédiatement. Il bouge du bois.
Si, i bouge du bois. I bouge du bois.
Bonjour. Il chasse.
Let me see, is there something else here to get? Oh, there is still a villager here.
Vos ordres, si va. Il bouge du bois. Il va. Il bâti.
Buongiorno.
Fra. Il bouge du bois. Il recoil. Vos ordres, il bâti. Fra. Bonjour. Il bâti. Si. Il bouge du bois. Il bâti. Fra. Vos ordres, il chasse. Si. Il bouge du bois.
It is past time to
Who's
take
on?
back
Who's
what
on?
is mine. Charge,
Shots.
my knights, charge! What are you waiting for, John the Fearless? Join me!
Fra. Vos ordres. Du bois.
Every coin that we take is one less coin that our enemies can spend.
Bonjour.
There are
Vos ordres.
many to be found in this market.
Si.
Let me see.
Bonjour. Il cultive.
Buongiorno. Si, cultive.
Fra. Si. Il cultive.
Sì. Avanti.
Si, immédiatement. Du bois. I batti.
Vos ordres. I bâti. Bonjour. Immédiatement. I bâti.
Buongiorno. Du bois. I mine.
Si. Fra. Il bouge du bois. Il recoil.
Vos ordres. I batti. I batti. I
Si.
batti.
Bonjour. Il chasse.
Lumber and stone were stored in this trade workshop. We will make
Vos
good
ordres,
use of these
comprends.
resources.
Fra. I va. Immédiatement. Vos ordres. I bâti. Si. I bâti.
You guys are probably already thinking about what I am doing with so many villagers, why there's way too many. There's a good reason for that, and especially because
Our
I...
Duke has been wounded. Return him to safety.
Oh no.
So that he can recover from his wounds.
Times.
Oh, that sucks.
Avanti. Ritacci.
Fra. Vos ordres. I bâti. I bâti. Si. I bâti. Fra. Bonjour. Vos ordres.
The
I
grain that
bâti.
the villagers had
I
stored in this
I
mill
bâti. I
will now
bâti.
feed the Burgundian army.
Bonjour.
That sucks. I wasn't supposed to lose him, but yeah. Maybe it's better that way. He was just wounded, so no problem.
I bâti. I bâti. Si. I bati. Vosotres.
Sì.
Fra. I bonjour. I bati. Sì. I bati. Vosotres. I bati. I bati. I bati. I bati.
Vosotres du beau.
Bonjour. Sì. Immédiatement. I bati. Bonjour. I bati. Vosotres. I chasse.
Sì.
Every coin that we take is one less coin that our enemies can spend. There are many to be found in this market.
Sì. I bati. Fra. I bati. Vosotres. Bouge du bois.
Fra. I bati.
Bonjour. I bati.
Oh, they are powerful.
Bonjour.
Your nefarious enemies in Paris have renewed the charge against you for freeing France from this insane tyrant.
Bastards. They seem not to take me seriously. I will show them.
Vosotres. Fra.
No more mercy to our enemies. Spare no one.
Lumber and stone were stored in this trade workshop. We will make good use of these resources.
Vosotres. I bati. Fra. I bati.
Okay, so that's huge. So he got pissed about that, and now he wanna kill them even further.
Sì. I bati.
Sì.
Bonjour. Fra. Sì. I bouge du bois. Bonjour. I bati. Immédiatement. I bati. Sì. I bouge du bois. Vosotres.
Fra. I bati. Bonjour. Imin.
Bonjour. I bouge du bois.
Vosotres. Fra. Immédiatement.
Sì. Vosotres. Sì. I compreux.
Sì. Vosotres. I bouche du beau.
Fra. I vai. Sì. I bati.
Bonjour. I bati.
Vosotres. I bati. Sì. I compreux. Immédiatement. I bati.
Let's go.
Fra.
Where are your gold resources?
I bati.
Oh, here.
Immédiatement. I bati.
Sì.
Vosotres. Bonjour. I bati.
Vosotres.
Sì. I bouge du bois.
Fra. Sì. I vai. Imin.
Fra. I mine. Vosotres. I vai. Sì. I bouge du
Bonjour.
bois.
Imin.
I
Fra.
mine.
I bati.
Okay, so it's time to raid even further. Oh yeah, all of that I was able to plunder. I already plundered here. I will plunder here.
Vosotres. I bati.
Oh, we cannot get the Flemish militia. How bad is that? Reduce civilian population of Liege to 15 or less? Yeah.
obnoxious rebels somehow managed to break into my camp. Come to my aid as quickly as possible, John.
Okay.
Bonjour.
The grain that the villagers had stored in this mill will
Ibati.
now feed the Burgundian army. The grain that the villagers had stored in this mill will now feed the Burgundian army.
Bonjour. Fra I chasse.
Si. I bouche du beau. I compreux. I bati. Fra. I bati.
The grain that the villagers had stored in this mill will now feed the Burgundian army.
Si. I bati.
Bonjour. I bati.
Vosotras.
These simple-minded rebels in the end seem to think that our scouts would not discover their secret gunpowder depots. How wrong they are. Destroy the depots, so the Liège rebels can no longer make use of their cannons.
Great, so that's exactly what I will do. So they're Teutons. Interesting. And what is the civilization? Oh yeah, they're French. The Franks, sorry. So they are Franks. Well, let's go and raid this rebel supply camp.
Bonjour. I compreux. I chasse. Si. Bonjour.
Where can I get more stone? Probably just here.
I bati.
Bonjour. Vosotras.
We have destroyed one of the rebels' gunpowder stores, sire.
Fra. Vosotras. I bati. Fra. Vosotras. I chasse.
Si.
Si. I chasse.
I bouche du beau. I bati. Si. I compreux. I bati.
overcome the walls of Liège, we will need siege weapons. It would be wise to start constructing some, John.
We can't. We can't. Sorry, man. I wish I could.
Pra.
What we can is just raid the city with even more cavalry, but you know.
Ibati.
The grain that the villagers had stored in this mill will now feed the Burgundian army.
You guys go there and fix that.
Bonjour. Ibati. Si Ibati.
Bonjour.
Vos ordres. Immédiatement. Si, immédiatement.
Vos ordres. Ibati.
Oh, that's great. And more resources here. And you guys should come here.
Si.
I'll food into gold. Maybe.
Si.
The grain that the villagers had stored in this mill will now feed the Burgundian army.
Oh, that's a back door here. Interesting.
Every coin that we take is one less coin that our enemies can spend. There are many to be found in this market.
Bonjour.
Both gunpowder depots are in ruins, sire. Without their cannons, the rebels will be an easier target. Every
they
coin
will.
that we take is one less coin that our enemies can spend. There are many to be found in this market.
Fra. Si. Fra. Si. Iva. Si. Immédiatement. Imin. Ibati.
Pra. Ibati.
Lumber and stone was stored in this trade workshop. We will make good use of these resources.
Si, mastro.
Vos ordres. Bonjour. Ibati.
Amutavis.
Vos ordres. Ibati, 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 ibati.
Let's do a few Cosidia. I
Sì, sì, mastro.
I never had the chance to make this unit so far. But yeah, pretty strong with his charge attack.
Travis.
And there we go.
Sì. Usot. I compru. Sì, mastro. Sì, mastro. Sì, mastro. Sì. I compru. Sì, mastro. Travis. Usot. I compru. Travis. I compru. Sì, mastro. Usot. I compru. Sì, mastro.
Sì. Ibati, ibati, ibati.
Sì, sì, mastro. Travis. Compru.
Vos ordres, bonjour. Immédiatement. Immédiatement. Ibati. Si. Fra.
Qua. Ibati, ibati, bonjour. Sì, ibati. Vos ordres?
Usot. I compru.
Yeah, that'll be
Sì.
a lot of
Ibati.
losses.
Qua. Ibati.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Sì, sì, mastro.
Fra.
Bonjour. Sì, immédiatement.
Bonjour. Ibati.
Sì, y compreux.
Travis. Sì, mastro. Usot. I compru.
Bonjour, Ivan. Sì, immédiatement.
Si. Si compreux. Ibati. Vos ordres. Ibati.
Travis. I compru. Sì, mastro.
outros e bate.
Os outros. Já viver. E comprou. Sim, mas viver. E comprou. Sim, mas viver. Sim, mas true.
Bonjour. Si. Tra. I bati. Bonjour. I bati.
Sì, viver. Os outros. E comprou.
Tra e bate. Bonjour. Immédiatement. E bate.
That's a lot of trouble to do an achievement.
Sì, sì, ma e comprou. Travis. Os outros. Sim, mas true. Sim, e comprou. Travis, sim, mas true. Viver. Sim, mas true. Os outros. E comprou. Viver. E comprou. Viver. Travis.
Tra. Compra. Imediativo.
Sì. Itachi. Os outros. Sim, mas e comprou. Sì. Sì, mas Travis.
Vos outros.
Sì. E comprou. Sim, mas true. Sim, mas true. Os outros. Eu não sei. Travis.
So where are the rest of the villagers? There's a town center there. Probably worth going there.
E comprou. Mas true.
Si. Si, compra. I bati. Bonjour.
Sì. E comprou.
Eu tô jogando aqui, gravando um pouco. Pode deixar, valeu.
Travis. Eu não sei. Os outros.
Si. I bati. Compra. I bati.
Oh yeah, we are doing a lot of work here. Bunch of stuff going on.
Vosotros.
Oh yeah, more powerful you could really soak today.
Sì. E tacci. Dai, Zot. Sì, ma compro. E tacci.
Mass of cavalry.
Davis.
Fra. I vai.
Sì, sì, mastro. Davis. Evan sì. Vosot, i compri, sì, mastro.
Vosotros. I vai. Sì.
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 Fra. I miei vai.
Vosotros. Fra. Buongiorno. Sì, buongiorno. Sì, immediatement. Fra.
Sì. I compro. Chasse. Buongiorno. Immédiatement.
Vosot.
Vosotros.
I bati, i bati.
Go destroy this now, Sandra.
Sì.
Vosotros. I chasse. Fra. I chasse.
Fra. I bouche du beau. I vai. Compro.
Not many new resources here
I
apparently.
vai. Sì, I compro.
Vosotros.
Davis.
Sì. Buongiorno.
Sì. Vosot. Davis. I sì, mastro. Sì. E tacci, mastro. Davis. Vosot. Sì. I re. Vosot. Sì. Sì, ma i re compro. Sì, ma i compro. Davis. Sì, ma vosot. I re. Sì, ma i re. Sì, mastro. Davis. Sì, mastro. I re. I compro. I re. I compro.
Liège has surrendered, but I will not show mercy to these traitors. Drive all rebels out of their hiding places. Hang them all. Wipe out their entire families while you are at it.
Vosotros. I vai. I vai.
Oh, this
Sì,
guy's
sì,
brutal.
compro. Davis. Sì, mastro. Vosot.
No wheels and Burgundian victory. Oh well. That's it. A new learner. Very powerful economy. On the Castle Age, I got the Imperial Age economy. So yeah.
The Battle of Auteuil was a decisive victory for John the Fearless. He rode in triumph to Paris, and his armies entered the city without a fight. The Armagnac plot had failed. But since they had not openly waged war on him, John could not yet exact his revenge by force. Instead, John had the 15-year-old son of the deceased duke brought before him. Still mourning the death of his father, the boy was forced to forgive his father's murderer in public. A cruel act, you say? And that it was. But remember, my son, that cruelty was not John's goal, only a means to an end. By orchestrating this public display, John showed not just the boy, but the entire house of Armagnac on their knees, kissing his feet. It was one insult too many for the proud Armagnacs, and the struggle between the two factions would soon turn into open war.
Yeah, so yeah, that was a bunch of units killed. 678. And 253 lost. That's a lot of buildings raised, over 100. Yeah, powerful eco. Needless to say, very good. Research count. Pretty amazing, a lot of research made. Didn't notice. Having access to Imperial Age makes all the difference. There we go, also Leech. It is also pretty good. Society. Yeah, I got 6 castles, 97 villagers. Yeah, that was a huge graph that showing how successful was my strategy of make so many villagers. But too bad that I couldn't make a Flemish militia at this time. They just built a bunch of hiding camps here. Weird. Yeah, very good, very good. And that was it. And I hope that you enjoyed.